Right, hello again folks. Actually managed to get into the greenhouse for a little while this time. Before I start with the video, I just want to give a few mentions. There's some of the other YouTubers that I've been watching that have actually, given me a little bit of inspiration to attempt to do this myself, because I think it's not the easiest thing to do is to start talking on the cameras. Right, we've got Allotment Diggers, Dave's Allotment Garden, Muddy Boots, Tony Smith, Green Side Up, and Liz Zorab on By the Farm. I've been watching them for a number of months, and it's sort of helped me have a go at it. But anyway, thanks to all of them if they get to see this. This video is going to be on, it's cloning trees. It's air layering, it's called. Now, obviously, if you want to get a new apple tree or something, usually you have to buy one that's grafted on and such like. But the idea with this is you can clone your own trees. I don't know how it will go with the actual root stock, because this is my first time trying it as well. But I've followed on, and a few others seem to grow like fig trees and everything else. And there's a few that have done apple trees. What a lot of people seem to do is they get normal old margarine tub, and I'll see if I can follow the process. Make a slit down, an opening, it's not the easiest because it's not a very sharp knife. So the idea being, you cut a round hole with a slit. Right, back again there, a little bit of a disturbance. Alright, let's keep going here. Do the other side. Right. Now, obviously you do this, so you've got a small hole about the size of the branch. I've just cut a stem off of one of the old branches down there. Idea being, that would then go inside there, obviously without the branch, and just snip that off. Right. You do the same obviously on the other end, so it sits inside. The order is you fill that up with damp compost, put the lid over it, and then what they seem to do is wrap it in tin foil to block the light out, and then wrap a little bit of cling film around it to keep it tight. Now, the main thing is, if I showed you this process, right, let me just get rid of these little branches for a minute. Now, what you have to do for it, there seems to be two trains of thought. One group do it by an old branch, and others do it in the open. I'll go for the open. You cut a ring around, and obviously if you're doing a margarine tub, you've got quite a big expanse that you can go for, but I've got something else to show you in a minute. You peel back the bark, right, once you've got the bark off, you've got what's called the cambium layer over the top of the actual wood itself. So you scratch that, give it a good clean up so there's none of it left that you can see on the main stick. Now, my understanding, if I'm getting it right, is that now you've done that, obviously the moisture will travel up to try and feed the branch, so you're getting the sap coming up. That helps to keep the compost moist as you're doing the process. The other side, because this bark is trying to reconnect to that bark, it sends out little spurs, and they end up becoming your new roots. And then what you do after a couple of months, the idea is you come along, obviously you'd have your tub on there, you'd cut that off the main cyan plant, unwrap it all, trim off the bottom, and then hopefully you'd have a new plant ready to plant. Me being me, I'm one for gadgets and little ideas, so I've actually ordered these from China. I'm not sure if you can see them in the light at the moment. And what these are is like grafting pods. They're a bit smaller than I thought they were going to be, but we'll have a go anyway. And the idea being, instead of cutting the hole in the margarine tub and everything else, let me just snip this little branch off. You do the same process again, but this is what I'm saying. You measure the gap here, work out where your stick's going to be, and then obviously you'd strip the bark from there to there, for instance. And then what you do, load them up with compost on both sides, fold it over, and it's actually got a little clip. So you clip that over like that, and that's, you know, basically that's the job done. But what I'm going to be doing with mine is I'm also just going to use some black electrical tape to go round to seal up the hole, because my only concern is that the moisture might dry out if you leave it open. So I'm going to seal that up tighter so that no more moisture can get out, and we'll see how it goes. Right, I'm not going to make you go through the process of actually watching me do it on the tree. I'll just show you it afterwards. So we'll see how we get on. All right, back soon. Right, I'm going to try and do a show of the full process, because I suppose I can't just do it on the tree thinking about it. Right, hopefully this is going to work. Now, as I said, you'd measure the gap on the pod. Obviously this is on the tree, so this is a bit easier for me. Cut the ring. Scrape the cambium layer. The thing I did forget to mention is this one seems to be an optional part, is rooting hormone. Some people seem to use the powder or the gel, and what they do is they rub it onto the open wound before they actually wrap it up. Obviously I won't do that because this is just the demonstration one. Just remove these two little nibs. Now, load it up with the compost. Obviously you'd wet it down. You can get away with it being fairly wet when you first put it in, because I think you're going to lose a certain amount of moisture anyway. But the idea being, press that down like that, lay that over the branch while it's on the tree, close her up, lock that in place, and then, like I say, for me, I'll be putting the tape around the top and the bottom to hold it in. But then the idea is obviously then you leave that on the tree for about 2 months, and then it should root. So we'll find out. Right, so here's the first one. I believe this one is a Morello cherry, or it's a similar type. It's definitely a dessert style of cherry. So that's the first one. We'll come back and see that one in time. Right, this is the second tree. We've got 2 of them on this one. So I've done one that's got some load of different spurs on it, and I've done another one that's on a straight run. As we see that, this is what was sold to us as what they call a red Valentine apple tree. It came off of one of the home shopping channels a number of years ago. We've never had edible fruit off it. They always taste quite bitter, and we were going to take the tree out, but a friend of ours had some, and we found that if they use it in crabapple jelly and stuff like that, the pectin levels are high, but also it keeps a very red colour. So we thought we'll have a go, see what happens. Right, so that's 3 of them done. We're going to come back in 2 months' time, see if it's worked. If it's been informative of any type, then just press the like button and subscribe. That'd be brilliant. And I'll speak to you next time.